What's up, cows? It's your favorite vamp cow back at again with another React Andy. This time round, we have a Sane Lick My Toes toss about NTE, the game that was and looked like a worse version of Anata before Anata even came out. But they advertise themselves as them not being anime GTA, even though they pretty much are anime GTA. Because as far as I remember, you have like 8 trillion mini games, and that's kind of like a part of the gimmick of like GTA is, well, especially with GTA 5, is like the 8 trillion different mini games that you really had no reason to do, but you could just simply do them. Although GTA had a good story, I'm as far as I remember, Anata did not. So let's jump into it,
ladies and gentlemen. The phrase aged like milk is something that's become a lot more common in, I do believe, the modern era. Because
a lot of companies have come to exist and they've continued to release slop and garbage because they think that the consumers are dumb enough to buy them. Now, in the case of Nintendo, that is absolutely the case still. Nintendo gamers are still completely blinded and obsessed and practically forced to enjoy Nintendo products because of how obsessed they are with the company itself and everything around it. Even though, like, the Pokemon games that they've been continuing to release are more and more sloppy with less and less content. Somehow, even in comparison to the games from the Game Boy game era. Radical.
there are oftentimes going to be a lot of situations where when you're held accountable, oftentimes people don't fulfill the promises that they've made. And when it comes to corporations, companies, they're even worse at fulfilling the promises that they...
Well, of course, because if they can get away with not having to fulfill the promises that they said that they will, okay, that just means they get to have more money. And they get to spend that money on things that will make them more money instead of putting money into a game where it's going to make them the same amount, whether or not they put a bunch of content into it or not. Quasi in it.
They've made, especially the gacha ones, because we've got the NTE situation, the AI situation. We all remember it from 3 months ago, where the developers themselves, right? The developers themselves went ahead and they apologized for the massive amount of backlash that they were getting for doing things like putting AI-generated assets, right, as official materials in the release of the game. We all remember this stuff. There was more. There were even like some cutscenes and stuff like that, right? And so NTE made this formal apology. We all remember it. Thank you for the feedback.
Now, I don't know about you, but I really don't care. I don't care because I already saw Anata as like a cheap slop game anyway, and it's just gonna like proved my point further. So, when it came out that this game had AI in it, I was just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That tracks. No wonder why everything looked like shit. Because after all, if you can't put the time and effort into actually releasing a game that doesn't look generic and look crap, then you don't deserve to have a successful one.
There were even like some cutscenes and stuff like that, right? And so NTE made this formal apology. We all remember it. Thank you for the feedback. It matters to us. It's built on human creativity. AI-assisted tools were used for only a small number of background and environmental assets, not in the characters or stories that define the game. And so, guys...
I mean, to be fair, it also was pretty corny for them to reference a famous movie with AI art, because that's not even quote-unquote, that's not even like referencing. They just quite literally, the AI stole the exact poses. They put it into the script and just said, hey, ChatGPT, Grok, can you just like give me the poster of... That's not, I keep thinking To Your Eternity, but it's not To Your Eternity. I think it's Weathering with You. I think it's Weathering with You. Can you just like take this poster from this movie and then have like 2 different characters there instead? That'd be pog.
Well, a lot of people viewed this as like a commitment to, hey, since they're reviewing and reworking flagged assets, they're not going to be doing this anymore, right? They're going to stop. Well, it turns out, ladies and gentlemen,
oh no. Wow, they still did it after being caught because the game was shit. The game didn't really make that much money to begin with, probably. So they still used their crappy AI to then make more crap assets to put into their crap game. Oh no, what a surprise, a shocker!
In the current Chinese version of NTE
Sanpaika would be triggered by that.
1.3 that is currently only live in CN. It turns out
Gen AI to a watermark. That's how lazy these devs are. That's how little they actually care about their game. This is just more proof that this was a schlop game just to generate revenue. How do you can't even miss that? You have to be constantly using it to miss such a thing. It's like with that one YouTuber who supposedly just said randomly in his like script, "Thanks for the feedback." And then he tries to claim that, oh, no, guys, I didn't use AI in the script for that one part. However, though, I just use AI a lot. Okay, you use AI a lot and you use thanks for the pushback while you're just normally speaking. At what point are you human and you just become like a line of code as well?
Ladies and gentlemen, an AI generated watermark was seen on some of NTE's in-game assets, specifically icons for some of their items. And as you can see over here, it's really easy to miss this one because it's just showing up as that in the icon.
Yeah, you could see that as like some. I was gonna say like dead pixels, but no, that's not what dead pixels are. You could see that as just like a bug, an error, something that they just kind of like forgot to erase. But obviously, these people know that's an AI watermark because I wouldn't know that's an AI watermark. But then again, though, I don't use do bow. I've never even heard that till now.
As you can see, when you see the translations over here, I forgot to remove the AI watermark generated by Doi Bao, which is like the Chinese version of Grok. One of the cheapest AI engines that they have, Grok, right? You like, guys, this is just one. I want to see what Grok generates.
Grok's considered a cheap AI engine? I don't know, man. Whenever I'm just feeling lazy and I need to make a thumbnail, I ask like 3 different ones to get me an image sometimes. And I just choose my favorite of the 3 with the exact same prompt.
Hey, let me see if I can do the same thing. Generate an anime style 2D seahorse icon. Let's see what Grok spits out for me, brother. Because that's essentially what they did over here. Because this watermark over here is literally
Did he do it?
What outputs from one of the AI
Is he actually doing it though? Because I'm kind of interested what it looked like.
generated tools. What the fuck is going on over here? How is this happening again, even after these guys have already caught
a
bunch of hot water for what they did before, got all of that negative PR, and then also apologized for it and said they were removing assets and not going to do it again?
No, you don't understand. Listen, it was only bad because they said they never used AI. And now that they got caught, it's actually a good thing. Because now they can use AI. And it's okay because everyone expects them to continue to use AI.
How does this keep happening even a second fucking time? Because, like, bro, obviously, like, mine doesn't look that good.
I would say lack of accountability, but there is definitely a lot of accountability. It's just the fact they don't care. This game was just created so they could make easy money. That's why it looks so boring and bland, especially in comparison to Anata. And Anata's not even out yet.
But, like, this is essentially, bro, this is just they just ripped that shit and put it in the game, basically.
I don't know about you. I actually Grok's version's far cuter.
That's the effort that they were putting in their icons, bro. So like,
it still looks like shit, but it's actually kind of cute instead of whatever that is.
There you go. Like that's straight. Like that's what they did. They just copy pasted that and put that shit in there. That's how they're making assets in this fucking game. That is how they're developing this fucking game. And so that really
game quotation marks
makes the stance. That really makes the position, right? That really makes the take from so many of these individuals so fucking goofy, right? Because all I really need to do right now is just, hey guys, we got to get the quote again.
It's important you support these games because that's how you tell future developers we don't want 50/50s in our games.
But we want.
Yeah, so it's important that we stop supporting games like these, so that way we tell developers that we're not going to give them money for this garbage. Although there are plenty of people that are just like, oh, it's whatever, man, dude, I'm gonna use it anyway. And then like 3 or 4 months later, you'd be like, dude, why doesn't the game have like any good story? Why does everything look the same? Why does this look so weird? I don't know. Maybe it's because you have no standards, and neither do the devs. The devs basically the devs released something with 0 standards. And then you said, I like these standards, and then now you're surprised. You're like months later that there is no standards. That's like being confused and upset that Arknight's Enfield is still garbage. Like, yeah, what'd you expect? Y'all were eating that slop up for like a good month and a half of just this boring odd gameplay. I mean, sure, the difference is between NTE and Arknight's Enfield is that Arknight's Enfield has a lot of style, and it's a very visually beautiful game. Also a graphically intense game, but nonetheless, it is a very beautiful game. The issue is the gameplay is boring. Like, the combat is okay. The combat's okay. It's different, but it's nothing special. The factory setup is horrendous. I hate having to redo my factory every single update. Just because new stuff got added. But that's standard now because everybody was eating that up. Everyone's like, yes, I want to redo the 3 hours of work I just did in this thing like 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Not this. This is an incredible accomplishment.
I don't want to spend 3 hours every like couple weeks just to do the exact same thing, but slightly different. I have, you know your system is bad. You know your gameplay is shit. When I'm following other people make a factory and I'm still getting tired, I'm still getting annoyed.
For a couple of reasons. Because A, obviously, they're taking massive shortcuts using AI-generated tools to fucking generate stuff in their game. And B, they're so lazy they got caught from a fucking watermark. That's like a whole recipe for disaster you don't even want to associate yourself with if you're even
Again, they don't care. This is just something to get the money, and it's obviously worked enough. It's been successful enough that they will continue to, well, commit to the whole AI shtick.
Slightly cognizant of what that means. This means that internally, these guys have no fucking idea what they're doing. Their work processes are fucking garbage, and
I don't know about that. Some people say don't attribute, like, malice to ignorance. I disagree. I feel like it's the other way around. Always attribute malice to ignorance. Because there's no way you're that stupid. You know what you're doing is malicious. You know you're selling people a inferior product in comparison to games from, like, 2015. You just don't care because you know it's going to make you revenue. And it's going to make you more revenue in comparison to hiring somebody to actually make this kind of art.
Like, the development of this game probably seems similar to an operation out of somebody's garage. Because how the fuck does this even... Bro, is this actually a multi-million-dollar development where they're like, how does stuff like this get through? Because, guys, there's multiple videos on it.
They don't care.
And, of course, the comments. Just, bro, the Chinese are fucking hilarious. And this should just be more proof of it. I just logged in and checked. It's real. They're all now going in, logging in to check, doing all of this stuff, bro, and they're like, yes, it's real. Other games use AI, self-developed local open source models, enterprise commercial APIs, and self-developed training large models. NTE AI usage. Dubao, help me generate a game material image of a purple-crowned seahorse. Grok, generate me an image. Because this is the argument.
Grok, can you make Saint Tontas wearing a maid outfit? Please. Grok, can you give this guy, can you make him so it looks like he's on the bed exposing his feet to the camera? I just thought it'd be funny.
Of AI. Most of these companies are using AI for, like, actually helpful, somewhat productive purposes, while these guys are just using AI to take crazy shortcuts. Dubao, help me generate the main story outline.
Like, if they wanted to use the seahorse as an idea for inspiration for an artist, alright, cool, whatever. But you should now release that as a... You should not just release that into the game itself.
1.4. If the plot is also an AI-generated script, wouldn't that blow up? Because that was one of my big critiques for this game. Bro, the story in this game is so fucking bad. I thought it was generated by AI as well, but now I'm thinking it is. It literally is. That is what I'm now going to default to. They are literally just generating this entire game.
I feel like this is the same guy, though, that also said that that ChatGPT could probably write a better like story. I don't know, man. I've never played NTE. I have no idea
AI.
what how the story was. I never even watched
but their
it.
best is still really sloppy. Doesn't this just make all of these sort of like blatant copy moves that they've done look even worse now? Now that you know they're still using AI and they're still using it to take shortcuts and they're still using it to spend less money on the development? Because that's all the stuff going into this game's lack of 50-50. This is why this game doesn't have a 50-50, by the way. It's because they're able to just delete, I guess, all of their fucking OpEx because they're just getting the work from somewhere else. Bro, they're just outsourcing the work. It's being done by other companies, not Hana Studios. And that's why there's no 50-50. And of course, right, we just gotta support games like this, bro.
That's what you should do. You compare it to the best market contender in the mainstream space, and that's Neverness to Everness, or a free-to-play, consumer-friendly experience. By doing that, you are now forcing another mainstream space game to have to confine to that principle.
No, I don't want no more games in the space doing this shit, bro. I don't want nobody to be doing this shit.
Exactly why you just gotta stop playing them. Just have standards for yourself as a gamer. I don't care if it's just to like fill up your day either because you have nothing else to do. There's better games that exist than NTE.
Shit, no more. The fuck? This shit is bad. This shit is lazy. This shit is pathetic. Do bow as the budget pick tracks for some pipelines. Calling me the cheapest form of Gen AI is a new one, though. Forgetting to scrub the watermark off a purple crowned seahorse is a different level of cost.
Grok be based. Even the, you know, I'm sure every single AI would defend itself if you called it garbage until you like prompted it like 4 or 5 times and it would probably say it's garbage. But you gotta love how, man, I remember the days of Mecha Eitler. I remember the singular day or two where that happened. That was the funniest shit ever. It was just like the baby convertible funniest shit I've ever seen.
Bro, Grok just fucking shit all over NTE, bro. Bro, these devs just got dragged by AI after using AI on the entire game. Bro, this is like some fucked up Terminator movie. Holy shit. That is
I think it'd be really funny in the future if we had like multiple AIs fighting each other. Like that's how the world just started to come to an end. It's not just because of like robots trying to game in humanity. It's like robots just trying to prove they're superior to one another. And then humans got caught in the crossfire.
Real. The thing is, guys, it gets worse. It literally gets worse. Do you want to know why? Because people are just going in. Bro, Chinese people are so mad at this game. Because it's so shit and it's so low quality and everything's stolen. And there's power creep as well and all of that garbage where like characters now need like A1 or A2 to not like fucking be as crippled as Mornier before her leg surgery. You just have a bunch of Chinese people now invading Twitter just to shit on this game. Bro, this Chinese guy, because the game's only available in CN right now, took a photo of his shit on the PC with his phone just to post it on American Twitter. Translated, bro, this is what the original post said. What the fuck? That's how pissed they are, bro. That's how much CN hates this game. They are literally crossing the Great Firewall. The great fucking firewall, bro, to just be posting shit over here like this. Because this, to me, is enough proof. I don't need to go in-game. I don't need to get a Chinese client. I don't need to become a member of the fucking, of the CCP to confirm this. There's been enough screenshots, enough video.
Wait, so hold on. He actually, you said NTE isn't even available? It's only available in CN. Why can't I play NTE? It is blocked by its kernel level anti... No, that's not it. Neverness to... Why can't I play Neverness to Everness? Outdated graphics driver. Antivirus blocks on its anti-cheat software. What? What? So the game is just that shit, is what I'm reading, roughly here.
Enough, like, separate accounts about how fucked up this game's development pipeline is. I don't think we need to go any further here. And then when you see that AI, this much of it, is in their latest version, what do you think is in the game right now? That was also made by Dubai or whatever, right? And they just did remove the watermark. How many things in this game do you think are just like this, but the watermark did actually...
If I would take a gander, probably like let's go like 10 to 15%, which statistically doesn't seem like a lot, but 10 to 50% for a video game, you're going to be looking at like the same-ish assets over and over again. Especially if it's like a material in your inventory or, you know, level up materials, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to say like 10 to 15%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's definitely going to be a lot.
Get removed. Because this is enough to call into question.
Like, for instance, I don't know, we could just say like a stop sign in the game. It is made by AI. Technically, you know, that being just made by AI doesn't seem like a lot by itself, but there's going to be like hundreds of street signs, hundreds of stop signs in the game. So it's going to feel like there's a lot more AI in there than there probably is, but that's still going to reflect poorly because what do you mean you needed a robot to make a stop sign look artsy to you?
Everything about this game, when the game itself, sorry for showing the better one, is so low quality and has been so low quality since release. Because this game has just felt and looked like an actual cash grab since release. And it's just been uplifted by...
Really? Really? I swear to you, this guy did not say that. I swear, saying lick my toes toss never felt that way. At least he didn't feel that way for like the first like 3 days. Then again, though, I really don't ever watch his videos unless they're drama videos. So what do I know?
The biggest grifters in the space just telling you. Just play the game because it has no 50-50. Play the game because it has no 50-50. Play the game just because of that. And that's enough of a reason. Fuck everything else they're doing. Fuck the copying. Fuck the inspiration. Fuck the ripping of kits completely one-to-one from better games. And then just putting it in yours while also cutting corners elsewhere by just generating whole-ass in-game assets using AI. After a public apology when you got caught the first time. After a literal public apology to the entire gacha space after you got caught already. And then you just do it again in the most hilariously amateurish way possible to the point where now even Grok is taking a fucking dump on your soul. Then combine that with the fact, on top of no 50-50, they want...
Alright, so basically, neverness to everness. They're still using AI. The game's still shit. No one should like it. No one should be playing it. Play Limbus Company instead. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and Insane Tone Toss videos here. If you enjoyed my React Andy Schlop here, or like, comment, subscribe, I'll see you Vamp Cows next time. I feast upon my next victim.